Okay, so still can't go to the cinema. And I was actually going to go see this when it came out at the cinema, but it was on for like a week, so I missed it anyway. Um, Name Anna. One sentence summary. Much like the very bad film Red Sparrow, this very bad film is about a woman who is objectified by everyone as she tries to do some spying for the CIA and the KGB. Could you beat the villain? It's more of a situation than a villain because everyone's awful in this. But could I survive if the KGB and the CIA are making me murder people and I just want to be left alone? Yeah, I could. I'd fake my own death. She fakes her own death at the end of the film, um, but I would have done it way before then and not told anyone. I'd just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna go out and do some murdering now. Here's I don't know, a fake body or something like that, or like, oh no, I'm driving a car and I'm going into a river. Oh, bloody hell, body got washed out to sea. Anyways, how would you improve this film? This is going to take a while. So there's so much in this film that just stood out as an anachronism because it's set in like 1990 to 1991 with many flashbacks that I'll come back to. But we see someone using like a Nokia 3310 or something similar, which would have come out in the 2000s. We see her using what appears to be Windows 95 in 1987. We also see a USB stick being used to copy some data on a laptop that does not look like it's from the 80s or 90s. And yeah, fair enough. She's a spy. Maybe she's got a Q, and they give her a USB 5 years before they were invented. I can believe that it's a spy film. But the laptop she's plugging it into probably wouldn't have a fucking USB port in it, would it? If it's 1991 and they haven't been invented till 1996. Anyways, um, there was just a ton of that and it upset me. Anyways, I want you to deliver a message to your people. It's not how we sound it, but it's the best I can do. And you're like, oh, the message is probably going to be that she's dead. And it was. That's cliche. Stop doing that, films. And there's so many time jumps in this. I counted 10 flashbacks and flash forwards, so like, leave it out. But so the first one, like the film opens, it's Moscow, 1985. Then there's a title card that says 5 years later, and then it directly says afterwards, Moscow, November 1990. Right, if you've just told me when the first scene was, and you've told me it's 5 years later, you don't need to tell me when this one is, because I can work it out. Why is there a woman allegedly working in a market in 1990s Moscow who speaks so many languages? Like, don't you tell me that was a tourist hotspot. That's ridiculous. The only people who speak that many languages are spies. Think about that. Also, that is going to be the only time a creepy bloke has been like gone up to a young lady and been like, oh yeah, I work for a modelling agency, and he wasn't like a sex offender. He was just telling the truth. There you go. Would it be too fast if I asked you to dinner? Yes, it would. You met like 2 minutes ago. Calm down, mate. Honestly. There's another time jump. This one is delivered through clunky dialogue. The guy's like, oh, but we have seen each other every day for 2 months. She knows that. You've seen her every day. You were there and she was as well. So there's another bit in the film at the start. There's a woman in Moscow in 1985 who has a car phone. And I'm not going to say that no one in Moscow in 1985 had a car phone, but 2 years later, someone is surprised that there's an ATM in Moscow. So I don't know if car phones were that common. There's a flashback within a flashback, which is flashbackception, if you will, that shows that Anna has got dead parents. Why all action characters got dead parents these days? But they're driving along in their car as you would be, and then they both look behind them to look at her in the back seat, and then like the truck that comes to hit them like is directly in front of their car. So were they driving on the wrong side of the road, looking behind them? If so, they kind of had that coming. Anyways, Anna slashes her own wrist. It's not a comedy, this. And then she has a bit of a conversation with Luke Evans, who's trying to recruit her to the KGB. And it takes her a little while to bleed out. And I'm not a doctor, but like, it takes a suspiciously long time for her to drop. Anyways. She survives though, so that's good. And Anna is in a Parisian police station in the interrogation room, and Cillian Murphy is a CIA agent, although I don't think he mentions it at the time. And he's an American. And he comes in and says, "Hey, I'm just helping my French colleagues," which doesn't seem like a real thing. Why would they need his help for like what seems to be just a simple murder? But anyway, it just highlights that 1991 was a very different time, because not only does she say, "Oh man, I'm sick of being objectified and having men hit on me all the time," he hits on her during that interrogation and then throughout the rest of the film as well. But also, he's like, "Oh man, she's undercover as a model, as you would be. Oh man, I've never been to a fashion show." He's like, "Do you want me to get you some free tickets?" He's like, "Yeah, that'd be cool actually." So 1990s, okay to take bribes as a law enforcement official. Also okay to sexually harass someone who you're interrogating because she's possibly done a murder. Helen Mirren plays Anna's boss. Well, Luke Evans is Anna's boss, then it's Helen Mirren, then it's some other Russian dude. Anyways, she's handing out the assignments, is old Helen Mirren, and she's obviously a really hands-on boss because she's handing out the assassination assignment from a car with a gun, by the way, she's handing out, outside the restaurant where this guy is who they want to get assassinated, which just doesn't seem like a good idea if you're trying to avoid people noticing the assassination attempts. There you go. There's 3 instances in this film where it gets a little bit too Austin Powers. The line "I'm KGB baby" is repeated twice, which is very strange. And also, there's the second photographer Anna has seen working with. He's almost exactly the same as Austin Powers in The Spy Who Shagged Me. He was like, "Oh, you're a meerkat, you're a blah, 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 blah." I'm not even pointing, it's crazy. He's doing all that, which is strange. And Anna gets upset because, you know, she's supposed to be doing an assassination. And she beats the guy up. And she's taking pictures of him with what appears to be a digital camera that is off, but it is still making the clicky clicky noises. Anna straight up murders some hotel workers, which is strange. And then she like removes the hard drives from the hotel security cameras, which is odd because you'd think back in the 1990 to 1991 they'd be using videotapes, not digital recording. But there you go. But those guys, they probably had families. Was it really worth murdering them for that? The Russians in this speak a lot of English when there's when there's just Russians around. It was strange. And the KGB need some dirt on this dude. And they've been able to smuggle a gun into the bathroom of his hotel room. They've been able to get a camera into the corridor outside of his hotel room. But, you know, they can't get any dirt on him, so Anna's just going to have to murder him. If you can get a gun in there, you could probably get a camera or a listening device in there. So, like, does he really need to die? This is just a side note as well, I've just realised. Anna's going around, she's wearing all these skimpy outfits. She must be leaving so much DNA evidence around. And I know, back in the 90s, it wasn't really a thing. But, like, fingerprints were definitely a thing, and she had her hands on everything. Helen Mirren, when she handed out that gun outside that restaurant, said, "Anna, go and cap that dude." The gun wasn't loaded. And you would think that Anna had learned her lesson from that. But another time she goes to kill someone and the gun isn't loaded. So why the fuck aren't you checking? Alright, just pay attention, woman. I don't doubt that bandwidth as a word existed back in the 1990 to 1991. But was it so common that a CIA agent would be using it, and he's not a computer guy, just casually in conversation? I don't know. And in Milan, Anna is like half a foot taller than Cillian Murphy, but then in the Bahamas they are the same height. So was it that she was just wearing exceptionally large heels in Milan, or was he standing on a phone book in the Bahamas? There are 2 entrances to a cleaning cupboard in like KGB headquarters for some reason, and that confused me. And why is Anna walking around with her guns out behind her back when she's trying to escape this place? Dual wielding, when she's gone to the trouble of taking Luke Evans's shoulder holster. So you'd think she'd keep them in there, the old guns, and then just bust them out when she needed them. But there you go. And if you're planning a tactical escape from a fortified location, would you A, wear trousers, or B, wear a skirt and stockings? Because I'd wear trousers if it was down to me. You know, it just seems more practical. And also, there was some sort of weird industrial plant underneath KGB headquarters, which was very strange. And the alarm goes off inside the building way before it goes off outside the building. So you would think you'd have that on one system goes off at the same time, so all of your guards can do their guarding at the same time. And the only family I have is sitting at this table, which is weird because both of those dudes have used you, probably lied to you, and banged you. Like, that doesn't seem like a nice setting for a family, but there you go. Rating out of 5 beers, I would give this a 4. Some of the action was good, but like there was just too many flashbacks and too many things that hadn't been invented yet, and it was worse than Holmes and Watson for anachronisms. So yeah,